Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I just want to see, first of all, if you're hearing me okay before we do introductions. Hi there. Oh, I hear a train. I'm not seeing any chat though yet. There we are. Oh, there we are. Ruth's there. Shalom. Hi. Hey, Robert. Good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the star of the show is right
Hello,
here.
everyone. Good morning. Hope you're all
And
doing very well this morning.
but actually, I would like you to meet my son, John. John's back home where he belongs. Hi, Barbara. Good morning. Hi there. Howdy. Good morning, Jolene. Jolene's here, Finn.
Oh, hi, John.
And
Yeah, I've fallen out of favor, everyone. John's been picked ahead of me, so that's okay.
Donna.
I knew this day would come eventually.
So we all have coffee and tea. So I have mate. Hey, Phil. Good morning, buddy. Hey, bonjour, Nat. Finn's got Earl Grey that I brought. Finn's been up early, and Finn's been out playing basketball with friends. John, you're on coffee this morning?
Yeah.
Yep. So, but I'll show you, I know you're here for the views, but let me show you Finn's transportation this morning. It looks oddly familiar. So, this is why my kid doesn't have a driver's license. But, hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. Bonjour. So there's our bike running well, and there Don is here. There is Mount Rundle. Have a look at those reflections there this morning. So we decided to do a catch up. Oh, Donna was in Brighton last week. Oh, that's fun. It's so there is just a gorgeous reflection of Mount Rundle this morning. So we thought, hi Haifa, hi there. Hey, Finn Haifa's here.
Oh,
Dad's old friend. Hi Haifa, nice to see you. Everyone, Haifa was good friends with my dad. It's lovely to see you, Haifa. Listen, it's been a while since you've seen my kid. Look how tall he is now.
Hi there.
Now, he's not as tall as me because I keep cutting him
Cutting me at the ankles.
at the ankles.
Yeah.
But he's taller than Uncle John, which is fun. And that was a real challenge. So, hi, Jenny. Nice to see you. Hey, hi there. So we thought we'd do something totally random and a little more fun today, but the whole point of this trip is to catch up with Finn today and catch some views. So that's you. So Finn Toomey is a working stiff. Now of course, we're in Alberta. Salt mine.
Yeah.
It's you can drive at 14 in this province. Finn's 17 and he doesn't have a license, but he has a borrowed mustache bike. It's borrowed. But kid, tell us about, here you go. Tell us about what you're doing and we'll give people views while you're doing so.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm currently working a retail job here in Banff. Obviously, the Banff shopping scene can be very busy and very slow, but a lot of tourists from all around the world. So that's obviously very enjoyable. I've been working there. It's a new store. I've been working there for about 2 months at this point now, and it's been quite enjoyable. I have some really nice, yeah, sure thing, Dad. I have some really nice team members and some friends from obviously different parts of the world, obviously as international as Banff gets. But it's really fun because we actually have 4 other employees out of about a team of 10 at the store who are raised locally. Bye. Now, Dad has left. What Dad does not realize is that I now have his phone and gimbal, and John and I are going to take a little walk to the pawn shop, aren't we, John? So we can go ahead and send this in and get some cash. You look great, Dad. But work's been well recently. That's what I've been up to, mainly with my summer. Obviously enjoying time hiking with the friends, and obviously spending time with Dad when he's back home. Have some lovely sun. Here's the gazebo. I've told you many times that in the summer this is an event center. You can see the bouquets set up there, and will be an event center for the summer. Plenty of concerts and such going on there. So these are the kind of views that we're dealing with this morning. Really quite spectacular. A bit of haze left in the sky from the smoke, which is sort of a normal part of life here now. But
really unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately.
By the way, we're on the Art in Nature walk, and you can watch the replay. I did a live tour last time I was home. I'm home right now for like 10 whole days.
10 whole days.
John's here, but he's going out to see his parents in Vancouver Island tomorrow, so I guess he's abandoning us. But then we have another visitor next week, so that's fun.
Yeah, it is quite nice and warm here. What's it, Dad, like 30, 35?
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit, yeah, probably about that.
It was 8 degrees in the backyard.
8 degrees in the backyard. So we are just stiflingly hot here. As a matter of fact, it's quite warm. Yeah, so probably at about 10 now. And here we are, of course, side of the Bow River. Look at that reflection of Mount Norquay there. It's really quite beautiful. Really like the camera on YouTube. Hey, this camera on the YouTube Live takes shots very well. Oh God, they've got all the young. Okay, so if you may remember from Australia, I have certain opinions about swan and geese and their existence as a species on the planet Earth. However, these ones have all their young with them, and the young are quite cute because they won't attack you. But the ones standing up will attack you, and they hate you and everything.
Finno, you're welcome to go pet the little ones. You go ahead.
I'm okay to go pet the demon chickens, but they are quite pretty, aren't they?
Look at the babies with their... They are gorgeous this morning.
They're very gorgeous. Very, very gorgeous. I know, don't look at me.
Oh, there's baby ducks out in the distance too.
Oh, there is, you're right. Right across the river, there's also some little ducklings. There they are. Along the bow.
Oh, they're catching little, whatever they're catching is a hatch.
Yeah, little fish, yeah.
Oh, look at them diving. Oh, no, what they were doing, they were practicing taking air before they dive. They all look like they were, yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Good stuff.
So what's been fun for John is, of course, when we've been sitting having dinner, we look out our backyard, and last night I think we were watching about 7 species of birds.
Oh, speaking of,
yeah,
some little birds in the trees here. Yes, there's wildlife all around us. Of course, in the summertime, Banff is blooming with life. We've had a lot of young elk and deer in the backyard. I had this big buck yesterday, and I had a large buck, a mature buck actually, not a young fella, but who was sat outside my window, like that pregnant female used to do.
Oh yeah.
And he was a big buck, big 12-point, like huge.
I think that's a merganser family.
I think it is, Dad. You're right. Yeah.
Watch some. See, the zoom works pretty well, eh?
It does. It's good. I like the camera on YouTube. There they are, diving.
It's fun.
It's pretty awesome.
Well, what do you think, kid? You want to head up to the canoe club?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. That's good. How are you doing, John?
Yeah, not too bad.
That's... yeah?
Yeah.
There's,
you know. Our dad's practically on an office chair at this point here. Hi there.
Morning.
Now, so obviously, just in terms of, I've seen a couple of questions about stuff about how life's going recently. If you do have any more, don't hesitate to ask, of course. But I am back in school at the beginning of September, end of August. I think it's exactly August 31st when I'm heading back in. Hi there. And so when I'm right back to school, that will be my last year, grade 12 for us here. And so after that, I will be off to university. Robert, this is not my day off, no. I am at work for a long shift after this. Start at 9:30, so in a little while. But I am still working today, so heading off after that. Figured I'd get in some basketball before we started the day. But let's just duck into a little roundabout here to get some views down to the river. So this is the Bow River, not quite at max capacity, but very full at the moment. You know, you have tree line on both sides. Of course, this side of it is danned by a walking path, and on the other side you have thick, rich forest, which is really not accessible by us in any meaningful capacity.
Well, it's funny when you say that. In the winter we can get to that other side, no problem.
Well, exactly.
It's all marsh now. We've had a great year for mosquitoes, haven't we?
Excellent year for mosquitoes. Yeah, we've had enough frost, a little bit of cold weather, just to the point where most of them have died off so far. University, I'm thinking probably doing an undergraduate at University of Calgary, maybe at the University of Alberta on the Francophone campus there. But obviously I've got a little bit of time to decide. I suppose I am going to be a senior this year, Robert. And
You don't use that term for that?
not particularly, no.
Robert, do you use that term in Ottawa?
And so yeah, I'll maybe at the French campus, maybe in Calgary, depending on to what I want to do. Maybe start out with history, something like that. In front of us, you can see one of Banff's wild species, often spotted around town with a gimbal. This is a Patrick Toomey, and he is on his famous bicycle. It's kind of like, when a hermit crab gets a shell, essentially, right?
Oh, are you? Sorry, did you just call it my bicycle?
No, I said when a hermit, I said he's acquired a bicycle. I thought you were a collectivist, Dad. Sharing assets, strength together. Keep going. Go ahead.
Called it the bicycle.
The bicycle, yes. It is the bike. So, now Dad and I are going to make it up to the canoe club here. John is trotting behind us. Here we are. And we will continue up onto the canoe club just in front of us, about another 100 meters. This area of the Bow River here becomes specifically interesting because this, at the canoe club, is the connection in between the Bow River and Echo Creek, or as we know it on tour, Peaceful Creek, which is just up right past the canoe club. And these are both different hotspots of life, very specific environments. And so they really provide quite a contrast. But here in this little section, that's the word I'm looking for, little section around the canoe club, these two environments sort of merge. So there is quite a few interesting species that reside only in Peaceful Creek. And so these would be, for example, there's actually an invasive species of freshwater mussels that live in the creek there, but do not live in the Bow River. And for some reason, even though the water is practically the same temperature, it would be easy for them to install themselves there. The water parameters are very similar. Obviously the Bow River is a bit harsher, but in this section it's quite slow. New Zealand, yes. These mussels do not cross over into the Bow River. They stay in Echo Creek. It's very interesting. There's also several species of small fish that can be spotted along the banks here in the summertime. Tons of water bugs and 100 other different species that you can spot.
So Finn, you're off to Vancouver Island. Well, John's off there tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're off to the island on August 2nd.
August 2nd, yes. So
Finn's uncle's birthday.
that's my uncle's birthday. I will be off there on August 2nd, and I will be on the island for a couple of days. Banff living. I'll be on the island for, 5 days?
5 days, something like that.
Visiting my family, my aunt and uncle, my cousins, too. I'm going to see my cousins.
On August
which would be good
2nd
stuff.
specifically, I'll be in Cork, in Ireland.
Cork in Ireland.
So I've shipped my brother off to the Vancouver Island Gulag.
Exactly, yes. That's it. But yeah, just coming back, so there's kind of this overlap of these two different environments, and they kind of overlap, they sort of stay separate as well in their own right. So the water birds that prefer the cooler, softer, less harsh environment of the creek will typically cross over into the Bow River to fish and to hunt here. And some of the smaller fish species are really going to breed and grow, have their hatchery essentially in the creek before making their way into the Bow River. And this is kind of almost a symbiotic relationship in between different waterways. It's sort of funny because the Bow River connects to it in a way that allows it to take in more resources from it and eventually allows the species to move in, and the waterway allows us a place for them to get some rest and to move away from the harsher conditions. Throughout its entire several hundred kilometer stretch, the Bow River does this on several occasions. It's quite interesting, actually. There's many of these sort of creeks, runoffs, or little lagoons connected to the Bow River as you follow it down the path it makes. And these several iterations all have this kind of similar environment. Just so happens that here in Banff, it is a very biodiverse one. Okay.
Right. All right, everyone. So this is the Banff Canoe Club. Now, that's it. No, easy. Ça va. So, what we thought today, it is 14 minutes past the hour. And it is, so the outside temperature is about, 10 or 11 degrees, Finn? Yeah. And the water temperature is about 10 degrees as well. And so Finn and I thought today, good morning, might be a little fun to take you all for a dip
In the water.
in the water, if anyone's up to it. So yesterday, John came to Radium Hot Springs with us. So let's see. So you'll see that John is here. He's our towel man today. Although he has every right to climb in. Would everybody else like to climb in to the Bow River with us?
Yeah, you should put your phone in there so that everyone can get an immersive experience.
It is apparently waterproof.
Water resistant.
I don't think I'd try. I don't think the gimbal would work.
I think we should try.
So John's gonna be the cameraman. John, are you good with that?
Yeah.
So maybe if you just chuck those over the railing there.
Yeah, into the water.
Into the water. So now this has become a real thing here, everyone. Hey CC, hi. I didn't say hi to everyone. This has become a real thing in this part of the world to do these cold plunges. Now about half the year, well more, about 6 months of the year, you'd have to break the ice, which is in fact, nice to meet you. Let's break the ice. So it's nice.
How much is a polar bear weigh?
So we're gonna get ourselves in here. There you go, John. Now, if we get cold, if you could start shivering with the camera.
Let's see. How do I turn the gimbal off to make it shiver?
Oh, there's lots of fish in here. All right. Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll probably go in
bit of
more
scree.
toward. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go more this way.
So I don't know if we can see any of the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the boat, and then that.
Cool. Now, this water, see, water cheese. Are you coming in with your socks? See, come on. You'll appreciate it. I want to ride on this. Is very, very cold water. Really, very, very cold water. Now, if Finn were to do it properly, he would skinny dip for you. But coming in, kid? No. That would be. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a tradition now. Inbound. Coming to the river in the morning. Oh, that's the cold bit. Okay. All right. So you see, it's a debate whether you lower yourself quickly or slowly. Come on in, or I'll help you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bow River in all its glory. Oh, that's great, Finn. Now, this melted without a dig. Oh, yeah, you can't move it too much, John.
Yeah,
Straight
it's.
up.
I've got it back where. Yeah.
So, Finn, tell me about your childhood. Was it as abusive as this? Now, the idea is to spend 3 minutes in This has already been 10 left.
Now this has been 10 minutes. We can go up now.
Now, what do you feel is the hand?
Cold.
John, can you tell us about your cold plunge yesterday?
It was cold.
How long did you last?
10 seconds. My feet were very sore.
Oh. See, the reason
Poor circulation.
is would not be showing off getting out of here.
Oh, look at the mountains.
Oh, scorching.
2 more minutes, kid.
I had to get out because of how hot it was and how comfortable I was.
Well, now, if you wanted to dive, swim across the other side.
That'd be great. I'd end up at Bow Falls.
I love the way that there's actually no sun on you right now. It really helps. Now, I swam in Yellowstone Lake last week, and that wasn't as cool as this. Just in case you're wondering. Oh, I think I'm going to try one of those towels now.
You mean the one I just put in the water?
How's it going, John?
Yeah, not too bad.
If you want to jump in, buddy.
No, that's good.
No?
Yeah, there you go.
So say normally we go in naked, everyone, but there's actually.
But this is a family channel.
Yeah, I've got several friends who come down here every morning in a few minutes. So that's why I came a little early because, we didn't have permission to film them, but they do a dunk every morning.
You didn't have permission to film it, so we set up a camera.
So Finn has to work in an hour, everyone. So he has to ride the bike home. And then John and I are gonna do something really useful with our day. Probably, I don't know, go look for some wild animals and then go to the pub for lunch. Doesn't that sound good? Oh, those are beautiful. Finn, you look great with the colors on the towel. That looks very, very artsy there. Oh, you know what? We got a few more people joining. I have to go in one more time. Finn, can you swim one more time? You don't have to, but I'll go one more time into the river. But honestly, John, unless you want to go. So, you want to go in again? Didn't you? Oh, that was a very noisy
Bird.
squirrel.
Oh, squirrel.
No, it was up. You wouldn't see it, buddy. But it's
And this is why it's called the Canoe Club.
Because of the canoes.
there is actually behind us. If you turn really slowly around, right around a little faster than that, there's Voyageur canoes. Do you remember that from your school days in Canada?
Yeah.
The Voyageur canoes, they'd hold 20 people historically, and they could paddle upriver. And then the rivers, of course, come September, will drop really low, and then they freeze over in October. So that's why you'd have to. Good job. You see the second time. And so that's why they had to build forts. And the main fort was Rocky Mountain House, which is not in the Rocky Mountains, but that was controlled by the Piikani. So Oki, by the way, we are on Treaty 7 territory here, and there's land acknowledgements all over Banff. How's it going, kid?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So does it feel like it's 10 degrees?
It feels tropical.
It's almost a little too hot. I can move my arms fast enough. I can,
You could swim.
like, oh, there's the sun. See, this is just like the tropics. So for those, oh, there's the current.
Pogo, pogo.
Actually, pretty cool. You really do feel the current.
You do.
And so what you do is you find an ice cube at the base of the boat falls.
And you put it in your martini.
Are you having fun with the gimbal, John?
Yeah, I don't understand it completely.
That's all right. Thanks, buddy.
Zoom
Appreciate
right on Dad's face.
So up here, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all saw all of that.
Yes.
So by the way, Mount Norquay up to the left, our closest ski hill, and then in the distance is Brewster's Peak. No snow on that anymore. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you. You're cold now. Feel great. So I'm actually.
Take that in with you and get do a selfie view from water level. I think it'd be some really interesting reflections.
I think it'd be lovely, but I don't think the gyroscope in the gimbal would work. Do they say cold bath? Well, the whole idea now is they say. Moi, je peux pas lire
A
ça.
cold bath is good for you.
Yeah, the on the
No.
But if actually you take a canoe down through here, you can get up to the Vermilion Lakes. Aren't the reflections just perfect? Although someone's gone and made waves in the river.
Yeah.
But what a lovely calm view.
Sure.
Yeah, it is a wake up nature there. Now, there's Sulphur Mountain. You can actually see the gondola up at the top. Up there, of course, the hike is 5.5 kilometers, zigzag, so it's quite easy as they go. And then the next range, so the national park stops at the end of that range. The next range is the Goat Range, and that's in Kananaskis country. And actually, maybe tomorrow, the next time, finally gonna go up and climb east end of Rundle because it's finally reopened. So that's something exciting as well. So it's really fun. So ladies and gentlemen, my kid is going to ride his bike home, have a quick wash, and go to work. You're working 9:30 to when today?
9:30 to 6:30.
So 9:30 to 6:30. Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a private tour today at 5, just a virtual one on Beyonder. If you're familiar, Beyonder has found funding. They're up and alive, so they're doing just great. Yeah, it's a long day for Finn. I'm doing that at 5. And then tonight, we are barbecuing. So for all you vegetarians on board,
We're barbecuing John.
we're barbecuing John. He doesn't know yet. but we're doing a good Alberta sort of meal tonight because John, you haven't been here for what, 4 years? Maybe
Pre-pandemic.
pre-pandemic. Yeah, probably 4 years probably. Thank you. So we're being interviewed here, ladies and gentlemen. So Finn's off to work. Next time, Emily, yeah, Kananaskis is almost. Oh, fish just rolled. Oh, there's something swimming under there. See that?
It's a shark.
It's a shark formation right there. It's probably there's a no. I think it's a muskrat probably. I don't know, but it was just getting that V shape.
Rocky
Like-
Mountain crocodile.
Kananaskis, I'd love to go and jump in. Yesterday, we were hanging out with some people from Mini Thinny, which are Stony Nakota people just up the road, and they say they go into Barrier Lake in the summer. And one of them said she goes in for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But Barrier's probably a couple of degrees
Yeah,
warmer than this.
Cascade Ponds I can do for longer
Yeah.
than the Bow, because Cascade Ponds,
Sure,
it's
Cheryl.
a pond.
Yeah, Cascade. Yeah.
You can kind of climb down the side of it, and then you get to it. It's not that deep.
Yeah, this one is
It's
so
all
cold
pond.
because the current is a lot stronger than it looks down the middle here.
I just think the psychological thing of getting into the river too versus getting into the pond. Like,
Yeah.
but there's also bridges to the pond that we do flips off. So.
Yeah, you jump off those, which is great fun.
Although I do want to jump
So-
off that bridge soon, the pedestrian bridge. That'd be nice too.
You've done it, have you, Emily? It's great, isn't it? So listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen, we'll have to say goodbye here. We will leave this up as a replay for a little while, but we're going to have some people working on our,
Green
what's
onion.
Are the dimples, are those little insects or something?
Yes.
that? Yes, little dimples are insects, and then there's lots of fish in here. There's 4 species that are quite large,
Smaller species too.
and then smaller, but the one we're trying to protect is the bull trout or the dolly vard, and that's the native fish, and then there's the mountain whitefish. So ladies and gentlemen, hope you've been happy to see this kid. It's always nice to see him, isn't it? So, and Haifa, it's lovely to see you. Peace and love to you. Listen, big hugs all around. John, we've canceled your flight tomorrow, so you're going to be here for a while. So it's good.
You're not getting no. Well, we canceled it because remember the barbecue thing.
That's, yeah. All right. Now we do always finish though with a little bit of a a story to keep you hooked for next time. So I want to tell you about the first time that Finn came skinny dipping here. Now when he did so, he was at this group from his school. And you should have seen, because I mean a lot of them have been friends for a long time, but it was really weird because they didn't realize that there was a tour bus nearby